Alright guys, so in hand today we have what has to be the most hyped up restock of the entire year. This is the shoe that started it all for many people, and even though it is a simple one, it definitely paved the way for Yeezy brand for the years that came after it. And these are a very old shoe. They are back from 2016, but they finally had their first ever restock after almost being burnt in the warehouse because of the ending of the partnership between Kanye and Adidas. Fortunately, Adidas did decide to bless us one last time, being that some of the profits go to charity. And today in hand, we are lucky enough to have the Yeezy 350 in the Pirate Black colorway. These are the V1s, and we're going to get into the details as we always do. So first off, let's take a look at the box. Actually, before we even jump into the box, I was able to cop these on Yeezy Day 2023, which did take place on May 31st, and it will be the very last time that we get any sort of Yeezy Day, which, as I already mentioned in my video on the Azure slides and the foam runners, that is just an absolutely crazy thing to think that we will never get a Yeezy Day again. We'll never get a new colorway of Yeezy or any restocks according to Adidas, but I don't necessarily believe them. We'll see what happens. These retailed for $230, and they were actually very hard to get for some people with lower end confirmed accounts. I was lucky enough to have a very highly rated confirmed account. So let's jump into the box. This box is actually not the OG 350 box. It's the 350 V2 box. So you got 350 on top. You got the size tag. Definitely take a look at the size tag right there if you do have a pair, because these are straight from confirmed. Make sure that they are authentic by comparing them to yours. And then there you go right there. So the only difference between these and a regular V2 box is that they don't say 350 V2, they just say Yeezy 350. And they still have all the Yeezy branding that they would have had if Kanye did not get expelled from Adidas, if you will. So they did not really keep to their promise of releasing new Yeezys without the branding. They did actually do it one last time. So jumping into the shoe itself, this is it right here in the flesh. As you can see on the colorway, these are a very black shoe. These are the deepest, darkest black imaginable. If I compare them right here to the Onyx 350 V2, you can definitely tell that the Onyxes are much less black than these. They are more of a dark charcoal gray, and these are just a pure black. It's pretty rare to see a shoe as dark as this one, but there is still some gray hints on the upper, but from a distance it just looks like an all black shoe. So from the lateral side, we got that ribbed bottom right there, as you can see, which is the inspiration for what the V2 ended up eventually becoming. You got these black rope style laces, nothing too crazy about them. Yeezys usually never come with extra laces. These are no exception. Interestingly enough, these do have a pull tab, even though the original V2s did not. So they went from having a pull tab to not, to putting it back, which is an interesting detail. Other than that, you got this very stretchy upper, which we'll get into in just a second. But on the back, you got the red. This red is really like the only contrasting color on the entire shoe, besides the white on the outsole. Speaking of the outsole, you got typical V1 outsole right here. You got this white boost, which I believe to be a little bit longer than the V2's boost. As you can see, it definitely is longer on the V1, but that does not mean that it's better. because while it is still squishy, this part, the rib cage area, is definitely pretty hard on the V1s. Taking a look at the medial side of the shoe, you can see that there is actually a little patch on this. It's hard to see because of how dark the shoe is, but there is that patch right there that does have the Adidas logo, and that's like a hairy suede detail right there. Besides that, those are the major details. You got Boost and Adidas branding on the bottom. These are definitely still a Boost shoe. You can feel the Boost. It's just not as squishy as the V2s, where if you squeeze on them, they do like actually react to the touch right there, as you can see. Or maybe you can't really see it well, but you'll have to take my word for it that the V2s are a lot softer on foot than the V1s. Other than that, these are a very coveted shoe. This material right here is very stretchy and very thin, so in terms of like being hot in this shoe, I'm sure they will probably be pretty cool on feet. So good summer shoe. It is a much flimsier upper though. Like if I push it down, it just kind of stays down. There's no structural integrity in the upper of the shoe, whereas on the V2 itself, you can tell that like this is not as soft. Like while it is soft, if you push on it, it just bounces up. It's like very springy. Whereas on this V1, it just folds over. So let's take a look at the other shoe real quick because there's no tag on this one, but it is pretty much the exact same deal. You got that branding on the inside of the shoe, the same Adidas branding, as you can see right there. Same outsole. Like I said, an all black shoe. The only other V1 that they ended up restocking was the Turtle Dove V1s, which were only available in the US around a year and a half ago, or maybe just a year ago. Yeah, I think it was like a year ago. July of 2022, I believe. Those were much harder to get than these though, and those are a lot more sought after than these because the Turtle Dove pattern is very noticeable versus this shoe being very subdued. In terms of sizing, just go up a half size like you would on V2. I really didn't see much of a difference in sizing. A lot of people say to go true to size, but I'm going to have to disagree with that one personally. There is actually a pretty big quality control defect right here on the front of my right pair, which is a white paint mark. Interesting, I never really saw that before. And then on the back, I don't think that there is actually a difference in shading on the back of the shoe. Whereas on the V2s, there's always that two-piece construction on the back. As you can see, these don't actually have that. So that is interesting. It just means that the entire outsole is one piece, and you can really bend the shoe. Like, it's not gonna crease on you. It's a very sporty shoe, and it's probably very comfortable on foot. I tried them on for like a minute, but I couldn't really tell if they were too comfortable or not. They definitely were somewhat comfortable though. Actually, I didn't realize, but this one has Yeezy on the inside, and the other one has the Adidas logo. On the insole, you got the Adidas Yeezy branding right there, and that's pretty standard stuff. Overall, the shoe is very compact and it's very light, so probably would be a good summer comfort shoe. As far as like the resale value goes, these are going for around $350 on the aftermarket, which is really not a lot for a Pirate Black. They might go up in the future, but it'll probably take a while. There were a good amount of pairs. As far as what I think about this shoe, honestly, I really don't care about it too much. It's an all black Yeezy. It's very practical. Like, you can wear the crap out of this shoe. You can wear it with any outfit, really. So that is definitely a good thing about it. But with that being said, it's not living up to any sort of like insane hype that these were slated to have. I don't really get why. I mean, it's just an all black shoe that is pretty basic on feet. I don't know why people were freaking out of their minds about them. I might just wear them or wear the Onyxes just because there's no more Yeezys coming out, and I do need a pair of Yeezys. Like, my Zebras are absolutely trashed, and those are the only other ones I have. But I don't know, they're just not all that great. That's my take. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Peace.